Hi guys, this is Crystal from Glittery Crystals. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the tumbler that I will be showing you how to make. It's very easy. It has only a few water slides, but it's mainly the glitter that stands out in this tumbler. I love the combination between both glitters. I feel that both glitters are so unique on its own, and I feel like they complement each other. I love that sparkle. That's something that I really like. Once you have it in person, it sparkles so much. These are the two glitters that I use, Sakura and Bright to Be from our glitter collection. I will leave the links down below for you to see all of the products that I use with this tumbler. So now we have already prepped and spray painted our tumbler white. I am using 5 mLs, 2.5 part A, 2.5 part B. We mixed it very well, and I am just applying a very thin coat of epoxy. We will be adhering this glitter with the epoxy method since both glitters are that chunky heavy glitter. That's the reason why I'm going to be using the epoxy instead of Mod Podge or spray paint. So I will be starting with Sakura, and I will be using this glitter on the bottom and on the top rim. You can already see how beautiful it shifts color. This is one of our top sellers. For the longest, I wanted to do a cup with it, and I did enjoy making this cup with Sakura. I can only imagine how pretty it will also look if we change the base color to a purple or to a blue. I wonder how pretty it would, how it would look. The end result will be a slightly different. So in the middle section, I started applying Bright to Be. It is also one of another beautiful glitter mixes that we carry. And I started applying the glitter in the center, and from the center, as you can see, I started to work my way towards the edge. Once I am satisfied with how far Bright to Be had been applied, I will go back with Sakura and I will fill in that gap that was left. And this is how it's looking. Look at that sparkle. I love how they complement each other. After we are done adding the glitter, we will gently pat down the glitter. We're trying to help lay the glitter flat. That way we won't use as many coats as epoxy as if we just let it be spiky. Bright to Be has this mix of different cut glitter, so it can tend to be spiky. So just take your time and pat it down. When you are done, don't forget to pass your finger on the rim just to clean it out before the epoxy cures. So we will let it sit for 6 to 8 hours. Once the epoxy has sit for those 6 to 8 hours, we will apply a very thin coat of quick coat. Before that, I will be using this dry brush and basically remove all that loose glitter. I am not being harsh, and as you can see, there's a very small amount of glitter that actually fell. Whatever glitter that fell, it's glitter that's already been loosened. So now I am applying my quick coat with a gloved finger. After I'm done with this step, I will let my tumbler sit for another 30 minutes until the quick coat has fully dried. Now we will apply our epoxy. I am using 30 mLs total of epoxy, and I will let my cup turn for 6 to 8 hours. After it has been curing for 8 hours, then we will come back and this is how it looks. You can see that there's a lot of texture still with this tumbler. So what I'm going to do is sand gently, even if it's speeding up the camera, I am being gentle on the sanding of this cup. I do not want to go deep where I expose the metal part of my glitter. And I will also sand the rim. After I have sanded, it will not be smooth. It will not be completely smooth. What I'm trying to sand a thin layer of that glitter, I will also clean it with rubbing alcohol before we go before we continue with the next step. And here you can see that there is still a large amount of texture, and that's the reason why we will apply a second coat of epoxy. Once again, I am using 30 ml of epoxy. Let it spin for 6 to 8 more hours. At this point, my tumbler is almost smooth, but I can still see a few dimples or a few areas where Bright to Be still has those spikes. It's not a lot of spots where it needs the sanding, but I decided to give it another good sanding where it leaves the tumbler completely smooth and apply a third coat of epoxy. As you can see here, it's completely smooth, and you want your tumbler to be completely smooth before you apply any water slide or any sticker to it, because if you leave the texture on your tumbler, you will be able to notice that texture underneath your water slide. These are the water slides that I will be using for this cup. Let's add our water slide to a bowl of water. My water is cold. Whatever room temperature water you have, if it's cold, if it's lukewarm, it doesn't matter the temperature. We're gonna let it sit there for about 10 seconds. Once the 10 seconds, 15 seconds has passed, you will be able to notice that the image basically slides off the backing of the paper. So now I am adding a bit of water to my cup. Your cup has to be wet before you apply your water slide. And for some reason, I did not think this through. I thought the wording was going to show on this cup. It's a very light lavender tint to the lettering, so I just didn't think this through. And on top of that, I made the mistake to try and add the image into the curved side of the cup. That was basically impossible to work with. So I decided to put the image on the bottom. I'm showing you this clip so you can see that it's okay to apply your water slide. And if you're not satisfied, you can move it around. So right here, I just cut off the wording from my image. It's basically useless to have that that extra water slide paper on the image. So once I position the image and I'm satisfied, I will be using this napkin to absorb the excess water and try to remove as much water from underneath the image. Now I just flip my cup over and I added my second image. And I am going to repeat the same process again. Don't forget to pat your image dry. And this is how it should be looking. Now in between both images, I will be adding these hearts just to give it some, just to fill in that space. So I'm just cutting those hearts and adding them to my bowl of water. And I'm actually not gonna let them sit for too long. They are ready to use within a few seconds. I'm going to be adding about 4 or 5 on each side. I wanted to show you here that when I was placing this image, somehow I accidentally ripped this part of the balloon heart. So what I did is that I printed another, or I actually had a second image of this one, and I just cut out the part of the balloon. I am letting this water slide set, and I am making sure that I'm getting this area wet before I apply it. It's very easy to correct your mistakes just by adding a second layer of water slide. I'll be patting the image dry, and as it's drying, I am going to reposition until I am satisfied with the way it looks. And as you can see, it's very easy to fix it. You don't actually notice the difference between the rest of the image. Now we will let our cup fully dry before we continue with the next step. Once it has fully dried, we will be using our quick coat. Hands down, I love this product. I will be using it to seal the image. And even if I corrected the image, you will see that even me rubbing the quick coat on the cup, it's not moving any of that water slide that we added. I love this product. It seals the image very well, and it avoids the epoxy getting underneath the water slide and lifting the image up. After the quick coat has dried, we will apply a last coat of epoxy. This cup only needed one coat since it was very smooth before we applied our water slide. We let it cure, and this is the end result. After letting it fully cure, I cleaned it from the inside, I hand washed it, and look at the beauty of this cup. I am in love with it. It's very easy to make, and it has so much going on. I love the sparkle. I can't get over the fact that it's very girly, very sparkly. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe to our channel, give us those like buttons, and comment what was the best part of this tumbler. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you for being a part of our YouTube family, and we will see you on our next video. Bye bye.